All right, let's move on to, how about just Penn State overall as a team? We've been calling it all year. It was utter domination. However, a little disappointment in the finals.
It was.
7 out of 10.
It was.
In the top 3. That's unbelievable. I mean, let's talk about overachievers and underachievers for Penn State.
They're almost, first off, can you talk enough about Bartlett and Van Ness?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Van Ness?
I've not seen that version of Van Ness.
I
didn't know who that was.
Neither did I.
I didn't know who that was. I mean, that boy, he almost lost the first match of the tournament.
Dude,
and then surprise decks him.
If he'd be a professional staller, he had the Arnie beat.
Yeah.
He had about 50 seconds to go there.
Oh.
Dude, Van Ness is the real deal. And I went from a little unsure about next year's Penn State's absolute winning it. Now with Van Ness and Levi showing what they can do. Wow. Penn State's a machine next year.
Yeah, I mean, that changed quick.
Oh.
I thought Van Ness could have been substituted next year. The way he looked in the regular season. Bartlett, Bartlett showed up. I mean,
top freshman of the year. 1, Levi. 2, Van Ness. 3, Caleb Henson. Now, we showed this. We showed the 2 years big boards from, I believe it was Flo's big boards that were the top high school guys.
Yeah.
How Kale can look down through the... Levi was 8th. I will grant it, Van Ness was number 2. But all them names, somehow Kale's got this ability. Now, Fee-Fi Fo Kundo hasn't worked out yet. He still can. So that's not and some of the, in all fairness, like Feldman and stuff, Feldman didn't wrestle yet. Mendez had a nice year, and so I can't blast on Mendez too much.
Tournament. Mendez did overachieve.
There's a lot of names there that were disappointing, but somehow Kale's got this ability to pick out and also grow. But that Levi pick was unbelievable.
Well, Levi's a dog. I'll tell you this though. I think it's just, it's even more and more evident. It's just the coaching.
Yeah.
And we had some people in the fantasy group talk about it where it just looks like every Penn State wrestler has a game plan.
Yeah.
And then I watch Iowa wrestlers. It just looks like they go out there and just try to win with their style. They have a style, and they will not move off it. That's their style. They win or lose with that style. Penn State, I see a game plan. I see changes made from match to match. I see, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just...
I read a lot of Iowa boards out there, and a lot of Iowa fans complain about this with Iowa. You ask an Iowa guy... what do you plan on doing when you wrestle him again? And the answer most of the time is, I'm going to wrestle my way. And I don't worry about individual guys. And I'm not saying that's wrong or anything, but...
Yeah, it is. Nowadays, that's wrong.
You think about the Santo against RBY. There was no changes made. And the exact same thing kept happening. And it's you got to adjust. And, you take a loss like Levi to O'Connor. To me, that was almost like physical maturity issue.
That's something we can touch on, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that O'Connor, and this is one of the most, if not the most, unique year in college wrestling. We have, 6th-year seniors?
Yeah.
Okay, Levi is a true freshman. To me, when I watched that match, now I would tell you if I thought differently, it just looked like Levi is still a kid. O'Connor is a man, and
physically, Levi was unable to even really get into.
No, he didn't have the strength to finish anything he wanted to finish. And is that a 6-year difference? That's a long time, especially at that age. That's a big difference.
One of our fantasy guys mentioned he can't wait until this whole COVID mix up is bias. We don't even know how many years left. I can name names out there and say, do they have another year left? You have no clue. I have no clue. I'm sure we could eventually find out. Does Sasso have
NCAA's a
another year?
debacle.
Does Sasso have another year?
Who knows, dude?
I
NCAA,
think-
they
I
probably
think
just
he
go
does.
spin the roulette wheel. Hey, Sasso got another year.
Dude, there's
Yeah. Let's give him another year. Should Spencer get another year? I don't know.
well, you would think.
Well, he got hurt. He couldn't even finish.
His feelings got hurt. Let's give him one more chance.
No, but all right, you touched on Levi. Any before we move on, I want to touch on the other Penn State finalists. But Levi, I think there's high hopes in the future for Levi. He could be a 3-timer.
You talk about overachievers of Penn State. Bartlett, Van Ness, Levi. Really, I was. How can you can't say a thing bad about Strachey and Brooks, how they wrestled.
They dominated.
Incredible.
They dominated.
But you know, the Facundo thing, I mean, he's a freshman. So not every freshman's going to hit the ground running like a Levi or Van Ness.
Yeah.
I mean, most times it takes somebody. But then you got, I was, Kirk Levitt, I mean, it's hard for a guy to sit that's never been there and say anything negative about a guy that's a Division One finalist. But I'm just saying that he looked different.
He regressed
at the end of the year than he did at the beginning of the year. Now I don't know everything. Just even his shots were so explosive in there.
Well, it's not often you see a Penn State wrestler regress. Did Kirk regress, or did Mason Parris just get that much better that quick?
Might be a combination of both.
It might be a combination. Yeah, you didn't see a lot of action out of Kirk.
For me personally, RBY, not 1 ounce against RBY. Nothing but love for you coming back and helping Penn State be champs. Thank you, RBY. That unbelievable performance by Vito,
that was
speaks for itself.
Incredible.
Roman Bravo Young.
Wow. To the other side. Coming back through. He's got him on his back.
That was there with the third most.
Reach shot there by Aruja. In a pretty good position. Got the outside hand. Measures that roll through really well.
I can't say RBY wrestled bad. It was like Vito was just on a mission.
No, that's the fastest I've ever seen a wrestler, I think, was Vito, that match.
Yeah.
Because you know how fast RBY is? Vito made RBY look slow. I'm not joking.
Dude, you know what? I have to think the drilling. Like, you drill something. He had certain things that went on there, that exchange of hands that were so lightning fast, you knew he drilled them 10,000 times.
And he was absolutely relentless. And I got to tell you, I said he made RBY look slow. RBY looked passive. Did RBY get a little of the drink a little bit of the Spencer Lee sauce where, hey, dude, everyone's telling you how great you are, you can't lose. He won a couple matches go late in overtime or whatever, and then he's pointing to the crowd. Whoa. Maybe him pointing to the crowd's getting, I'm in my own head now.
Dude,
and all of a sudden, Vito smacks you in the face, dude. That boy is a wake-up call for RBY.
And you know, that's a challenge for any wrestler that has success. You say,
absolutely. That's why 4-timers are so rare.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about that broke my heart to see Levi lose. But the other part of me was like, you know what? That's going to
be good for him.
Might help a little bit.
He's in the gym
for next year,
all off season.
Yeah,
he's in the gym all off season.
Wow, it was just an unbelievable tournament.
Overall, the team utter domination. 7-10 in the top 3, 8 AAs out of Penn State.
Yeah,
that is just incredible. Is this the best team ever?
Well, not by points. They scored more points before, but the thing is. You think about next year, they're going to start out by Bartlett's going to be ranked 3rd starting the year. Van Ness is going to be ranked 2nd. I think Sasso comes back. Although, what's his face from Nebraska is coming back. I just ran a brain fart. You know who I'm talking about, the stud that sat out redshirted this year. I still think Van Ness will be ranked 2nd. Then you got number 1 ranked, probably Levi, definitely Carter, definitely Brooks, and most likely Kirk, because I think Paris. I'm pretty sure Paris is done.
Kirk, come on. I see Wyatt beating Kirk next
Well,
year. Quite frankly,
that
and he
might
should have
be-
beat him this year.
That might be the case, but at least starting the year, Kirk's going to be ranked over him.
Let's finish up Penn State next year. You talked about preseason rankings.
Yes.
Are there going to be any weight changes?
You seen the one post-match interview where I noticed Brooks just mentioned I had a lot of struggle with that weight, and a little flag went up in my head.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep.
Because 97's open next year, unless they were able to talk like Beard or somebody come back. 97's open, so Brooks going up. The other thing was, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Levi is. I actually heard Kale say Levi is going to be 57, 65. Like I've heard 65 mentioned for Levi before. So if he's struggling in weight and he moves up to 65, you say, well, what about Fifo Kondo? I don't know. I know one thing. Barraclaw ain't no slouch for at 57. Plus, they got studs coming in galore. Maybe not them Cooters, but
They ain't got no Gabe Arnolds or Cooters.
Oh, please.
I got some B-listers, but did wrestling give you a bad shoulder? Now you're having trouble sleeping at night. Tired of dealing with the constant pressure on your shoulders? Well, if you're in the 125-pound bracket this weekend, you will soon enough.
But don't worry, the solution is here.
Let me introduce you to the Medcline pillow, made specifically to take the pressure off of your shoulders. I mean, just look at this. Just put your arms right through the hole. Designed by Dr. Carl Medler, a medical professor at UCSD.
So no matter what's on your mind, the weight won't be on your shoulders at night anymore.
I have a bad shoulder and acid reflux. The Medcline pillows give me the best sleep of my life. I used to wake up acid refluxing all over the place, but not anymore.
Don Sands.
Yeah, that's right, mate.
Are you sure you're not Tom Brands?
I have no idea who that is.
What are you doing in Pennsylvania? Are your shoulders bad from dragging Pennsylvania wrestlers to Iowa?
Look, I'm just here because I got a lot of pressure, okay? And the Medcline pillow, it helps me sleep at night. But we got a lot of work to do.
I mean, we have a lot of work to do.
So go to medcline.com now to start improving your sleep and improving your life.
And exclusively now, folks, help improve Iowa wrestling by entering promo code Iowa at checkout to pay double our standard price.
Proceeds will help support recruiting Pennsylvania wrestlers to Iowa University. BEG Wrestling. Like and subscribe.